First time, I went like this, and I was like, and I brought it back down, held it with me.
Yeah.
And he kept yelling and screaming, and I did it again, and I was like, no, not like that.
From each other. I went to go grab Riley. I turned my head. She says, ow, and then the next thing I know, I can't feel my fucking face, dude.
Okay.
Like, he literally socked me as hard as he could in the face. I was seeing stars, officer.
Riley and Austin thought they could outsmart everyone until the police uncovered their twisted plan.
Dude, I mean, what do you do when the guy's eyes bulging out of his head and there's brain laying out? Yeah, I don't know what to do with him, man. It's to the head and he's bleeding out, man. There's nothing I can do. He's got blood everywhere, man. He can't hear.
So
Yeah.
I watched some of the video.
The chaos we just witnessed feels like a punch to the gut. Austin's words, blood everywhere, a man down, paint a scene so raw it's hard to process. This isn't just a crime, it's a betrayal born from love and rage. How does a night spiral so far out of control? The desperation in those moments makes you wonder what could have stopped this tragedy.
A few of those trailers right along that parkway. Were you aware of that? Okay.
This is the instant he understands he can't get away anymore. Officers were moments away from exposing a horrifying truth, the dark secret. When officers arrived on May 8, 2021, they had no idea they were about to unravel a deeply twisted love triangle.
154 Central. We have a GSW to the head. He's breathing, not conscious.
Clear.
Okay.
On the middle of the road were the remains of 26-year-old Michael Tripp.
Ma, what do you need me to do?
Nearby, police discovered a man identified as Austin Green, who had turned out to be the most crucial figure in the investigation.
Why couldn't you just leave well enough alone, dude?
So my partner explained you're not in trouble, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We just got a lot of stuff we got to do right now, so
I don't even know what happened, man. He came and busted the window out, and then Riley, it's a long story, like, Riley and that guy were, like, messing around and stuff, but this is the father of her children's house. She's only been gone from here for not even 2 weeks. So she came back, she wanted to come home, and dude ran up and punched the window out. So she came out here to come talk to him, and then Austin walked out to make sure she was okay, and I guess dude, like, hit Riley or something. The girl, I guess dude hit Riley, and then all I heard was...
Witness testimony led officers to another suspect, Riley Young, who had played a role in the... Everything from this point until the very end is absolutely crucial in understanding the twisted dynamics.
All right, so obviously we got some stuff we got to talk about. Everything that happened last night. But before we talk, because right now you are in custody, you're not free to leave. I do got to read you your rights before we can talk. Okay, the common stuff that you see on TV. All right, so read along here with me. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right.
So Austin, again, my name is Jeff Hooper. I'm a detective with the Sheriff's Office. This is Detective Blair. Okay. I'd like to sit down with you and talk to you about what transpired tonight. Okay? Because there's two sides to every story, and I want to get your side of the story. Okay? Fair enough? Yes, sir. Okay. Now, Austin, based on the circumstances here, obviously, you know, you got put in handcuffs and everything like that. There's certain rules that I have to follow. And in order to talk to you, okay, I have to read you your Miranda rights. Yes, sir. Okay? Those are the rules that I have to follow. All right? And I follow the rules. I don't break the rules. Okay? But the only thing that I ask is that you be honest with me. Okay? This is a two-way street here because, you know what, you're going to have questions. I'm going to have questions. Okay? And so it works by both of us talking together. Yes, sir. Okay? So I'm going to go over these first. All right? Advise that you understand after each one, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Do you understand that? Yes, sir. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand that? Yes, sir.
But before moving forward, the relationships need to be organized and understood.
Tell me what's going on.
Oh, so okay. Okay, so Austin is my kid's dad. I broke up with Austin 2 weeks ago and got with Michael.
And how long have you and Austin been together?
3 years.
3 years.
And I kinda, being stupid, and I broke up with him 2 weeks ago. And I got with Michael. Well,
I just want to get all the relationship figured out, and then we can go into everything that happened. So you guys broke up 2 weeks ago.
yeah.
Did you know Michael before, or did you guys just meet?
He was Austin's best friend.
Okay. So after, were you guys talking pre-breakup, or was it after breakup that the relationship started?
Breakup.
Were you just talking to, hooking up with, dating? Oh, okay.
There's a few pictures of us on Facebook, and then I was like,
So talking, or?
yeah,
Pre,
something
more
like
than hooking
that.
up, not quite
Yeah.
dating relationship.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
At first glance, this case might remind you of another we've covered. The setup seems familiar. A jealous act.
Riley's calm demeanor in that interrogation room is chilling. She's spinning a story, but her lack of remorse for Michael, a man she called a friend, feels like a mask slipping. The law sees through her, with Miranda rights locking in the stakes. It's a stark reminder. Words can hide truth, but actions, like that surveillance, don't lie.
Why don't you give me a rundown of yesterday, start yesterday, in the morning, and how I like to, have people do it is, it's easier to remember, like, when you first got up in the morning, what you did, and just go about your day, all right, up until we're here right now.
Oh, man. I woke up, I started cleaning my house. My baby mama came over, dropped the kids off. We talked for a little bit, and then she ended up leaving.
What's her name?
Riley Young.
Riley Young?
Yes, that's my baby mama.
Okay.
My girlfriend for 3 years. She's not just my baby mama.
Okay.
She came over, dropped the kids off to me because she said she wanted to go to sleep because she didn't feel good. So I was like, okay. So she dropped the kids off. I had my mom come pick them up from my house so I could proceed to go to work for the night. My mom came and got them. I got ready for work. I went to work, and everything was kosher. And probably come around 9:30, 10 o'clock, right about the time I was gonna go on break, Riley messaged me and she was like, hey, I want to come over when you come on break so we can talk things out. I want to come home, I want to work this back out. I want my family back together. I was like, okay. I'm going to stop at Taco Bell, give me something to eat because I'm hungry. And that was that. I got off probably about 2:31 is when I clocked out. And from there I took the Dixie Highway exit to 75, took 75 to Netto, went to the Taco Bell on Netto Road, got my food. Actually fell asleep sitting down waiting for my food. I was so tired. And then I went home. I ate my 5-layer, my quesarito, got halfway through my Crunchwrap, and then my front window gets smashed in. And I see Michael standing there yelling at me and Riley, calling Riley all types of names and whatnot.
So, who's Michael?
Michael was my best friend for 5 years.
Okay, so Michael's your best friend for 5 years. And then it's you and Riley. Is there anybody else there with you guys?
As of right now, my buddy Brian, he's there on and off just to help with my dogs and stuff when I'm not there. Because like I said, me and my baby mom, we're going through a rough time in our relationship.
What's Brian's last name? Do you know?
Yeager.
Okay. So it's you, Riley, Brian. Window gets broken out.
Yeah, we're all sitting there. No, it's at my house.
Yeah.
And we're all sitting there on my couch, and he smashes my window out. My first instinct is to grab my gun.
Okay.
And I grabbed my gun. I walked outside, and I begged him to leave. I told him I did not want to fight him. I told him I wasn't going to do this at my house because this is where my kids stay. Honest to God, officer, if Riley wouldn't have came over that night, I would have had my kids there in the living room, and he would have done that with my kids, and it would have been even worse. And I begged him to leave. She begged him to leave. Brian begged him to leave, but he would not stop. He just kept going and kept running his mouth and kept popping off at the lid. And then he said something along the lines of, I'm just going to burn the trailer down with you and your kids in it. And Riley got mad like any other mom would and started chasing him down the street. So I started chasing her down the street. I go to grab her. He hits her. He hits me. And next thing I know, he's on the ground.
What's intriguing here is how these two approach the same question differently. When asked what happened yesterday, Riley zoomed in on the small details, almost appearing defensive, whereas Austin provided a larger...
Oh, so you're going to go crash.
Yes.
And he says, what the f*** are you doing here?
Yes.
And then
I just ignored him. I'm not good with the drama or yelling or, so I just ignored him.
And then he kept saying,
And he kept, I don't know exactly what he was saying, but he kept going and going and going. I know a few times I heard him look straight at Austin and say, kill me, motherfucker, kill me right now.
and this is while he's still outside
That's why
and you guys are
he's still outside, and
inside.
Austin and Brian are at the doorway of the house now. Because they got up, when they first heard the glass, they stand up.
So what else is he screaming? If you remember any specific things, I know you said he was saying a lot.
Put your gun down and let me beat your ass, Austin. I'm taking your girlfriend back. She's mine. She's not going anywhere. Countless times he said, put your gun down and fight me and let me beat your ass.
Regardless of the nature of Riley's relationship with Michael, or whether her feelings for him have faded, her emotional response seems completely out of place given the circumstances, especially since Michael is dead and he was her friend and love interest just days ago. Austin, on the other hand, appears to show genuine emotion for his deceased best friend.
Watching Riley dodge accountability while Michael's life is gone hits hard. Her focus on herself, not his death, screams manipulation. Legally, she's complicit, but emotionally, her coldness stings. How do you stay so detached when someone you loved is dead? It's a question that haunts this case.
The first thing you did was grab your gun.
Yes.
Okay. What type of gun was it?
It's a Glock 19 Gen 3.
Okay.
30-round clip. It's legal. It's all in my name.
Okay. Where was that at inside the trailer?
It was sitting on my little TV table right next to my couch.
Okay. So it's sitting on a table or on your couch, near your couch. Okay. Hear that? You grab the gun. You go to the door. What are Riley and Brian doing at this time?
At this time, they're still stuck trying to figure out what happened because he's just standing there yelling.
Okay. So basically, I saw the trailer. So he's like yelling in through the open
Yes.
window.
Yes.
And so then you go to the door.
I go to the door and I try to get him to leave because, like I said, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. I have neighbors who have kids too, man. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to fight him. I didn't.
So let me. So you're standing in the doorway in your house?
Yes.
Okay, like just shouting through the screen.
Yes.
And where's he at?
He was down by the foot of my porch.
Okay, so he's down on the concrete, all right, and you two are shouting back and forth.
Yes, he got into my face multiple times, and I begged him to please go.
So you're telling him you need to leave.
Yes.
You need to leave.
I did.
Now, is the gun in your hand? Is it in your waistband?
The gun was in my hand. I don't have my CPL, so I don't hide it. Everybody knows that.
Okay. So, did he know that you had a gun?
Yes.
What did he say about that?
He told me to shoot him. He told me put a bullet in his head.
Okay.
I told him I didn't want to do that. I told him I didn't want to multiple times.
Okay. And so then, when he's outside, let me take you back a little bit. So you said you and Michael have been friends for 5 years. You're best friends.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, does Michael own any guns?
No.
No? Okay. Does Brian own any guns?
No.
Riley?
No.
But you have 3.
Yes.
Okay, you got the Ruger.
Yes, I have a Ruger, a Varigade BMR9, which is a AR-15 type style pistol rifle, and then I have my Glock 19.
Okay. All right. So Michael shows up. He is jawing with you, telling you to put a bullet in his head.
The detective then posed one of the most crucial questions of the case. Why? Why would some... In this exact moment, she realizes her secret was caught on camera.
When you guys get over,
After the video, does it continue on?
Yes.
Okay.
you guys get up against the car, you're swinging on him quite a bit.
I don't remember that.
Not him swinging on you at all.
I don't remember that.
Not him grabbing you. Nothing.
See, I do remember him grabbing me though.
Okay.
I do know when I get.
Was that while you're? I mean, because
Do you
your
know?
arms are like laying
Yeah, that's
at him.
when.
I mean,
yeah, that's.
is that when he grabs you?
Yeah, I think so. No,
Okay.
I don't have a good memory. I black out.
Yeah.
A
So
lot when
my concern
I-
here is
I black out.
Yeah.
And
it's totally
honestly,
natural.
don't even care about Austin right now.
Here's where you need to worry about you and your
Myself
kids.
and my kids.
Michael's dead.
Oh. I guess.
That's why we need to take a minute and really think about this. And right now, like I said, we'll go over this again. I'll give you a second to think about it and process. I know I just told you a lot. And that's why I want to know, I really need to know the truth about everything that was said, everything that happened. Because this could have been an argument between you and Michael that went too far when Austin came over. That, yeah, if you were, even if you were just punching or hitting him, then I can understand that. That happens. But the way it looks on the video with what you're telling me is not the same.
This is the exact moment Austin realizes he's been caught on camera, no less. Up till now, he had no idea that his actions were being recorded. At this point, any attempt to modify or alter his story would be futile, as the footage presents undeniable evidence. Lying now would only make matters worse.
So in watching the video surveillance, some of this video surveillance has audio with it too. Mm-hmm. Okay. And you know, I'm watching this video surveillance, and the things that you're telling me, a lot of it adds up, right? But there are a few things that aren't. Okay. Like Michael was leaving. Michael was walking away.
He was walking in the direction of Riley's mom's house where her little brother was.
So he's walking away and passes that area, and Riley chases him down. Okay. Right. So Riley's chasing him down, and she starts swinging on him something fierce, and she's going to town. All right. And at this point, I see you coming up. Okay, you got the gun in your hand, all right, but he's backed up against the car. He can't go anywhere.
He was in the middle of the street, officer.
At that point, or at a little bit later point, but he's backing up, all right, and then, all right, you know, she breaks away a little bit, and you come toe to toe with him, and you guys are in the middle of the street, not by the car, in the middle of the street. You guys are toe to toe, almost like chest bumping, squawking at each other.
Yeah, we were yelling at each other, but I wasn't getting in his face. I was trying to get Riley to leave him alone and go home, man.
And I'm going off of,
I know.
you know what I'm saying? And I'm interpreting, and like I said, you know, a lot of the stuff you're telling me adds up, but when I see stuff like that, I have to interpret it a different way. And so, I mean, you guys come toe to toe and you're squawking at each other. All right? And, you know, he takes a pop at you. All right? And then you raise the gun up. Boom. Right in the head, right in the face. All right? And see, here's what I'm thinking. Just, you know, watching that video, Austin, okay, here's the thing, right? At that point, okay, why did you decide to use your firearm?
It just didn't register at the time. I was scared and I acted.
I mean, because you've told me that you've been in fights before, okay? And here's the thing, we've all been in fights before, okay? Detective Blair, myself, we've all been in fist fights before, right? But at this point, right, it rose to a level of where you introduced a firearm to, a basic fight. And let me, and hear me out, because I have seen this quite a bit. I've sat down with quite a few people, who've been in your situation. I talked to them, right? And I know that there are good people out there, and you seem like a good family man.
I just want to go home to my kids, officer.
Right? And I think at that point, there was a level that had risen up in you, okay, that you just wanted this to stop. You just, Michael, he had sex with your girlfriend.
I didn't mean to kill him, man. I did.
And you just wanted him to stop him.
Austin's breakdown is heartbreaking. He's not a monster, just a man caught in a moment of rage, fueled by betrayal. The law doesn't care about his tears, though. Second-degree murder means 30 years. This case shows how 1 second can destroy lives. Could de-escalation have saved Michael? It's a question we'll never answer.
Devastating.
In the end, both Austin and Riley were arrested for the murder of their friend, Michael Tripp. Austin Green, 23, pled guilty to second-degree murder in February 2023 and was sentenced to 30 years in prison. Riley Young, 20, pled no contest to felonious assault and received a much lighter sentence, 1 year in jail and 3 years on probation.